I'd like to call to order the Wyoming Valley West School District, regular March meeting, Wednesday, March 13th at 7:07. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson,
Here.
Mr. Damascus,
Here.
Mr. Hardwick,
Here.
Mr. Keating,
Present.
Mr. McGinley,
Present.
Mr. Perfetto,
Here.
Mr. Kubuski,
Here.
Mrs. Cassatt. Here. Mr. Kamis.
Present. Stand for a moment of silence and salute to our flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to turn our meeting over to Mr. Damascus.
I don't think I need a microphone. We want to take a minute today to recognize an accomplishment by one of our sports, specifically our wrestlers. Even more specifically, I want to recognize an award that's given to our head coach, Ryan Visello. The Wyoming Valley Wrestling Conference AAA Sportsmanship Award. This award is given to the coach and AAA level of all district teams. Did the best with his team and displayed their sportsmanship and camaraderie and everything else in the goes along with sport. Now it's time to step up. I want to just, from personal note, I know Ryan now for many years. In fact, he was a coach for my son many years ago. And Ryan is a dedicated coach and an asset to this whole district, not only from a wrestling perspective, but from a human perspective. What people don't know is Ryan had some significant injuries after a work accident and had 2 broken legs. So I don't know if you tell the story, but he was asked by his superintendent if he needed help coaching, and his response was, if I'm asking my wrestlers to be dedicated to the sport, there's no way that I can miss any practice. So with 2 broken legs, he's in there coaching and helping the team. So Ryan, if you want to come up, I'd like to recognize you and your teammates in front of them.
Ryan, congratulations. Hey, Brooke. Situation. How are you?
I've got several young ladies.
I'd like to, personally thank you guys, Mr. Tosh, Mr. James, Mr. Bass, Mr. Gill, the administration. Thank you from the deepest part of my heart. Without your support and dedication, this wouldn't be possible. So I just want to thank you guys and really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
One over 7, Jake House. Richard Piazza, 114. Isabella Sight, 118.
She won about at the state meet.
Kayla Bob, 133. Joey Davis, 133. Ryan Darden, 139. 142, Lily Shemansky. 148, would be, Brooke Long, I'm sorry. Tina McKay at 152. Marcus King at 160. Gunnar Giza, 215. Jacob Mahoney at heavyweight. And Jacoy Grant at heavyweight. And also my coach. And thank you guys. And without Kyle Negro, this evening, could have went down to the train. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for stepping up and helping out. And what I'd like to add this year, we, with women's wrestling now, PIAA sanctioned event, We had several, obviously, females who participated in the boys division this year. But this year, the PIAA allowed you to, even though you didn't have any female matches, allowed you to participate in states. And we had two wrestlers that qualified for states and one that had a win. It was kind of tough. I think their seeding got a little bit unfair because they kind of technically went into the districts with a 0-0 record for churches. So the wrestling right at the top level of the first match. So anyway, great job, ladies. Great job, men. The sport is not an easy sport. You're on that mat. It's only you and your opponent, and it's never easy. But with your blind signs and coach here, you had a successful year, and we're hoping for better next year. Thank you very much.
And Brooke Long for being the two wrestlers that we had compete at the WVWSD state tournament. So I would like to congratulate them.
Next year for the girls. Great job. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, the wrestlers. Thank you, coach. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Might be good. Yeah.
25 and 26.
Wrestlers are always short. It's not right.
I think that's the one.
I
understand what it is, because I spoke to everybody, just update on your wrestling. Okay.
I didn't answer.
Thank you, Mr. Camus.
Thank you, Mr. Zabaskus, for the presentation. And thank you to the wrestlers and to our coaches. I'd like to announce there was an executive session held prior to this meeting to discuss contracts and some personnel items. Student representatives, Lily Mahoney.
Rebecca Biala, Elvis Castaños, Lauren Glukowski, and Olivia Yellen were selected by faculty as Seniors of the Month for the month of February. The students were honored at a breakfast with a faculty guest of their choosing. They received a certificate from administration, and their photograph will be featured in the local newspaper and on high school webpage. Congratulations, seniors. The high school is pleased to announce the production of Anastasia as the spring musical. Please join us at the high school auditorium on March 14th, 15th, and 16th. Showtimes are at 7 p.m. each evening. The cost of admissions is $10 at the door. Hope to see you there. Members of the middle school and high school student council will be attending the PASC Leadership Conference on Friday, March 15th. 13 students will be presenting workshops focusing on leadership, inclusion, teamwork, and media publications. A group of students will attend the regional Trig Star math competition at Penn State, Wilkes-Barre, on Friday, March 22nd. This competition is sponsored by the National Society of Professional Surveyors and the Pennsylvania Land Surveyors Foundation, and tests students on the practical applications of trigonometry. We wish them luck. The high school will be participating at the ASVAB test on Wednesday, April 10th. Congratulations to Antonio Torres and Reagan Suzuki, who both qualified to participate in the All-State Choir. The All Over the World Club decorated the main lobby in celebration of Ramadan. Congratulations to junior student Bella Seif for her victory at the PIAA State Tournament Hershey. She is the first Lady Spartan in WVW history to capture a win at the state tournament. Congratulations to the 2023-2024 boys and girls swim team at their win at districts. The medal recipients are second place medals, boys 200 free, Cole Balesta, girls 100 backstroke, Callie Pixon. Third place medals, boys 100 fly, Cole Balesta, girls 100 breast, Dina Lazinski. Fourth place medals, boys 500 free, Billy Bell, boys 100 breast, Christopher Hummel. Boys 200 medley relay, Billy Bell, Peyton Sprague, Will LeBron, Davis Gian Duran. Boys 200 free relay, Chris Hummel, Noah Heidkavage, Billy Bartolome, and Cole Balesta. Boys 400 free relay, Cole Balesta, Noah Heidkavage, Billy Bartolome, and Chris Hummel. Fifth place medals, girls 100 free, Dina Lazinski. Sixth place medals, boys 200 IM, Billy Bell. Boys 500 free, Billy Bartolome, and girls 400 relay, Callie Pixon, Annie Davis, Zoe Ratchford, and Dina Lazinski. Congratulations to all winners.
Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
Superintendent's comments, Mr. Tosh, please.
Thank you, Mr. Camus. This Friday is a district in-service day, and there will be no classes for students, as we previously announced. Also, Mr. Cunningham, one of our high school teachers, has contacted me to let me know that one of his students, Tess Kopechny, organized and collected entirely on her own donations for the Sleep in Heavenly Peace organization in Luzerne County. Tess collected 22 sets of sheets, 6 comforters with sheets, 3 comforter sets, 2 blankets, 10 pillows, and a $740 monetary donation to Heavenly Peace Organization of Luzerne County. Congratulations to Tess Kopechny. Also, as mentioned by the girls previously, experienced the magic of Anastasia, the Wyoming Valley West School District's all-school musical production for 2024. It will be performed in the auditorium at the high school, March 14th, 15th, 16th at 7:00 p.m. And one note that I'd like to add to that, if you've never been up to the high school to see the all-school musical, the children and the staff do really a terrific job. I would highly recommend get out and see that performance. It's certainly worth it. Last 2 announcements that I'd like to make. I'd like to announce tonight that yesterday, the district received approval from the Pennsylvania Department of Education for the construction of our first STEM lab in the high school library. This renovation project is being paid for under ESSER's 3 funding, and a short presentation will be made to the board and the public at the next official school board meeting on April the 10th. This is a very exciting initiative that the district over the last year or 2 has talked about, but now it's coming to fruition. A lot of people put in a lot of hard work. I'd like to congratulate our high school principal in the back, Mrs. Carey, for being at the forefront with it. I'll be updating the board and the public on other district initiatives for this school year also at that April 10th school board meeting. But again, very exciting for us. Kim Wallach, our consultant, with Debbie Troy, Dave Navrock, and our newest member, Rob Kacharik, our business manager, have all teamed up to plan this STEM lab, which I think is going to be a great academic addition for Wyoming Valley West School District. And then we'll make further plans at other levels of the district. And finally, one last thing I'd like to say, and Coach Vasello, I congratulate him. He congratulated one of the members of district employees. He mentioned Nick Gill, and I think I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Nick Gill, who's our athletic director. He's kind of a one-man band running the athletic program. If your children have ever been involved in athletics, you've probably seen him there. I don't know if the guy really sleeps, but morning, noon, and night, he's been very dedicated and committed to the Wyoming Valley West School District sports program, does a great job with the students, and I know works very well with the high school administration. So I'd like to thank Nick Gill in addition for all his contributions. Thank you, Mr. Camus.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tosh, and that's pretty exciting about the STEM lab. Yeah, it's gonna be a great piece. No one signed in this evening. Do we have anybody who would like to address the board this evening? All right, moving on. May I have a motion to?
Motion to approve the minutes of 23rd, excuse me, and the 14th.
Lisa?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve the February 14th, 2024 board meeting and the special meeting of February 23rd of 2024 for general purposes. We've had a motion by Mr.
Yes.
McGinley,
Please.
Second.
second by Mrs. Cassatt. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Running on through committee reports. Mr. DeBascus, do you have anything to add?
You know, I do, for athletics, and we had a big conversation last week, but I did miss 3 items that we talked about. We did receive a request from our girls' basketball, booster club to hang signs on the walls, like by the baskets, at that level. Now they currently put them upstairs. If you've ever been in a gym up top near the upstairs gym, that rail up there. So our athletic director, Mr. Gill, who never sleeps, did the research, and we have, it's perfectly legal to put the signs there. I thought it was okay to do it. I don't know if we need to vote on something like that. That's kind of an FYI. Does anybody have any concerns with the Booster Club? What they do is they,
Kind of sign.
sponsors, like team sponsors, like, you know, whoever they use as their sponsors for their team to sponsor.
Tomorrow, will we have to vote on that?
So did the athletic committee already?
We didn't, we had the meeting and talked about it, and the athletic director did the research to see that you could put them there. Like some schools put,
Does it involve the expenditure of any funds or?
not for us, no.
I don't see it.
Okay.
I'm fine with it.
There any, if there's any issues, let us know. The second was we received a request. And this has happened before, but we received a request from Swearsville American Legion to use our State Street field during the summer for practice. But they also wanted to know if they could have their games at our field. And after a discussion with the committee, we figured State Street is fine. There's no fences there anyway. You could get in and out of there, but I think that using the stadium is not a good idea, especially if we're gonna be doing any type of work there in the summer. So I think as a committee, we talked about allowing them to use state for practice, but not use our stadium for games. And they don't even have a schedule or anything like that yet. So right now they use Swearsville for all their games, and they have 3 different levels in Legion, so it does get kind of crowded over there, but I'm just not sure it's a good idea to put it on our field. Then we'd have to have someone there to open it and close it and all that other kind of stuff. I don't know, is there anybody have any issues with us? I don't think we have to vote on that one either, but.
I wouldn't think we'd have to vote on it, but Mr. DeBascus, I mean, with all that's gonna be happening down there very shortly, I don't know if this would be the best year for us to have it down our field. I kind of agree with you as well. I mean, I have no problem with State Street.
Yeah, State Street's wide. I fear with the guard and gates and everything in a closed field, we'd have to have someone there open it and everything, so it'd be kind of a nightmare, but. If anybody, I don't think we have to vote on it per se, but if anybody, we haven't responded to Legion yet, so. If anybody has any issues, let me know and we'll talk
It's
about it.
past practice. I think we voted, or we said no to some people, other people.
The
So if you said
baseball, yeah,
to
we've
be
never,
consistent Is all I'm saying.
we've never
About
allowed the
kids that-
baseball field. As long as I've been on the board, and it's just because, it's closed up. We've allowed schools to use our football field for certain things, but never the baseball field.
I'm just trying to be consistent.
I understand.
Did you have something else?
I have one more, and I apologize, I missed this. So the athletic director also recommended, currently our prices for sporting events are, and this is football and basketball only, I think, right? Is what we charge admission to is $4 and $2. With the cost of everything going up, security, a lot of security, of course. The AD is requesting that we fall on 90% of the other districts to go in a $5 and $3 for the cost of entrance into our athletic events. And I think that one probably would have to be voted on, but. And it's really to offset the cost. If anybody's ever looked at, if anybody thinks that we make money on any sport, we don't. Our costs far exceed with referees, officials, with security and everything else. Lights, yeah, turning on those lights is you can just see the meter going. So I don't know if that one would have to be on agenda. Maybe we could put it on the next agenda. I thought, or first.
Can we please have that added to our next agenda for the board to vote on?
So, all right, we'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
Anything else, Mr. DeBascus?
That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Keating, contracts and finance?
Just a few things. First, I'd like to congratulate Coach Vasello, his team and the females for their great accomplishments this year in Hershey. I'd like to just jump ahead to something we're going to vote on this evening. It's listed as item number 16 under staff recommended actions. And that's our compensation proposal for our principals. You know, the board's volleyed back and forth on this, personnel committee, tried to take whatever data was available to them with surrounding school districts. There's no, I believe I said last meeting, one size fits all when it comes to things like this. And also taking into consideration the financial condition of our school, which is still an evolving process, as we've learned tonight. We still have, a lot of work to do before we get into putting together the 2024-2025 budget. But, what we put together, when I look at some of the emails that have been exchanged, there appear to be some of our administrators that are really pleased, and others that question the rationale that went into doing this. And I could tell you that I think I speak for the board that it's long overdue with what we put together, specifically for the principals and the problems that the district faces with, retaining and attracting quality talent and personnel. We did our best. As you know, it's about the position and not the person. And there are lots of different nuances that we could have applied, such as building and seniority, or whatever else we want to put on the table that some may think should be factored in. I think in the end, it's a monumental step in recognizing the efforts that the principals put into and the value that they bring to our school. And although what we did might not be the cure-all and the final plan, it's definitely a step in the right direction, and now makes us competitive with the schools that are around us. And, well-deserved, and thank you for being patient with the board and the committee for this long overdue process. That's all I have.
Very well said, Mr. Keating. That's right from the heart. Thank you, Mr. Keating. Mr. McGinley, Education Policy Committee?
Yes, we had a meeting Monday. Mr. Hardwick was there as a member of the committee, and we met with the English department chair and went through the curriculum K through 12. They did a very nice job. And the one thing that I want to say is there's a program that the people use in elementary, foundations, and it appears from the information that was mentioned on Monday, and then I was talking to one of the people afterwards the next day, the kids are really doing a great job. And I think that's a accommodation for the teachers and working with the program and really making full use of the program. So that's certainly a positive step for the district. As far as the policies, you can see below here, we have a whole list of the policies. And again, as I repeated several other times, most of them are state mandated and most of them have legal liability. We have very few that we can make any adjustments. So we're at our second reading, which I think, we'll finalize these policies presented this evening. But we have more policies and we will be moving forward on that.
Anything else, Mr. McGinley?
No, thank you.
Mr. McGinley, thank you again there's 22 policies on here. Thank you. It's something that's been long overdue. Mr. Tosh kind of started this a little bit ago, and, I thank you for spearheading this for us. Mr. Hardwick, special education or ESSERS, please. Do you have anything this evening?
Yes, sir. I'll actually start with special education. I think it's probably going to be the easier report. The Special Education Committee did meet. We met on Monday, the 11th. We used the opportunity to create a board education segment. The presenters were Maria Barata, who's the Director of Special Education, and we had attorney Christopher Bambach. He's a specialized attorney from the firm Sweet, Stevens, Katz, and Williams. They handle the legal parameters for the special education department. Several of the board members attend, some staff attended. The topics range from simply the department personnel, schools, and buildings related to the programs in each. Maria gave an excellent overview of the special education system and program within the district. And then Attorney Bomback addressed some of the legal parts and nuances regarding the special education department. I think all in all, the segment went well. I hope everybody got something out of it, and we'll probably present something again in the future as an update. So that's the Special Education Department Committee report. With regard to ESSERS, this will take just a touch longer. First, I'll point out that two of the items that I'm going to address are on the agenda. Item number 25 is the purchase of 300 laptops from Integra One. Those funds will come from ESSER 3 funding, as well as item number 26, which Mr. Tosh mentioned, but no, you talked about the STEM. So this is Link It. Link It is a program. It's probably best to ask Anthony Waskevich to try to describe it. I'll generally tell you it's a big database that takes little databases and puts all the information together. Now he'll tell you.
I like that one, Bill. That
he'll
was
tell you
good.
what it really
That
does.
was good, Bill.
Use widget next time.
No, there's Knibbly pins in it.
You really explained it in a nutshell. Basically, a data warehouse, not only with all the funding from ESSER that has allowed us to do, many great things for our district, including buying lots of technology and applications. We still have our state testing and so many different data points that our administrators, our teachers, our district level administrators look to use to make data-driven decisions. So this data warehouse is kind of a spot to aggregate all of that and be able to build dashboards, reports, from everything from a student level that a teacher could read to a grade level, to a school level, to a district level, to help everybody in our district make the best decisions for the kids, their buildings, and the district as a whole. It could help us write grants. It could help us sustain grants, report on grants. It allows building principals to know if the money we're spending on certain interventions or efforts are making an impact or if it's something we need to change. It just really gives not only a current, but a historical and also future looking look with all kinds of different dashboards and things like that. That is all from the multitude of data from state testing, demographics, attendance, discipline, low income, and all the multitude of assessment applications and everything that we use to just give everybody in our district truly access to data to help in their day-to-day jobs.
Wow, that's awesome.
When will we see our first dashboard?
Well, if you approve it, we sign the agreement tomorrow or send them our purchase order, and then we start working with them to load our data. So hopefully by the beginning of school, we could have next school year, we'll maybe take 2 or 3 small goals. We'll reach those and then we'll start building upon that.
That's pretty awesome, Anthony. Thank you.
Sure.
And I'll I probably should have prefaced this to remind everyone. So within ESSERS, specifically ESSERS 3 funding, which the total funding allotted to us was $14,955,000 and some change. 20% of that is required by the grant to go toward lost learning. So that 20% is about $2.9 million. That funding will be used for Link It, the STEM lab that we talked about, and other lost learning efforts. But the funding is covered by the ESSERS dollars for the first 2 years. Then after that, there's contractual agreements, but it's nothing like the startup costs. So to make sure everybody understands, that's why I'm doing this through the ESSERS reporting. The other part of this, and Anthony, I didn't know, Mr. Tosh did a pretty good job explaining the STEM lab. I know it's been discussed, but that's also dollars that will be used out of ESSERS 3 lost learning. So again, this startup of the STEM lab would be concentrated, would come from the ESSER three funding.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, really what we're looking to, the way we wrote it was to, PD approved us to like reconstruct and repurpose the library. So a lot of that is going to be removing the bookshelves, adding electrical, doing new flooring, removing patching, painting, things like that. And then the rest of the funds are going towards supplies, building a new computer lab for their applications that they're going to do. And they had some pretty incredible ideas with drones and all kinds of manipulatives and some pretty crazy stuff that they built a list. You'll get that little bit more extras next week, or next month, I'm sorry. But the project as a whole, we're really excited about it. It's the library hasn't been used as much as it probably should have, and I think this project is going to really be a great thing for teachers and the students at the high school.
Absolutely.
And I think the exciting part to this is while the funding is a one-time hit, it's a one-time grant through ESSERS. That's a program that should last for as long as this board and the district maintains the STEM lab. And I could see this as something positive continuing for years and years and years. But it allows us to do it through the ESSERS dollar. The other part of my ESSER report is just to give you, I just mentioned, it's a 20% for lost learning. The balance is buildings, grounds, air handling, and so forth. So with the balance of that, those projects are moving forward in the high school. We're starting in the middle school. I think there's some materials already starting to be brought in behind us. These projects will all move forward. And this is some of the discussion we've had in past where we have 14 million in ESSERS, but the total of the projects exceeds that. It looks like that we'll be able to fund that, but as Mr. Keatings pointed out, we still have to figure and make sure that all of those funds are truly in order to be able to do this. The last part of this, though, does tie back into the lost learning. And Kim helped me out. Kim Walk helped me out. She put together in each of the board members' packets was an ESSER grant update. It's the same ESSER report I provided in January, just with updates in yellow. So for the audience, I'll tell you that tutoring was a strong part of it, both after school and summer tutoring. So the summer school and after school tutoring will continue to be offered at about $20,000 in materials and supplies have been purchased with the ESSER grant funds to support the teachers and students with lost learning. We talked about the STEM lab, and the final lost learning segment is for the intervention in lost learning and support for teachers. The data warehouse solution that we just discussed, we can send student demographic, attendance, discipline, and so forth. So there's a lot going on, but I think everything that's come forth, thanks to admin and close monitoring of these ESSER funds, I think we're going to benefit very well from this continuing to move forward. And I apologize for being long, but that concludes my two reports.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Hardwood, very much. Mr. Dickon isn't here this evening, so there was a prior engagement, but there was an email sent about the cameras on the buses, about that contract. We don't need to discuss it now, but if we could discuss at our next meeting, if everybody wants to look at that, review it. Moving on to buildings and grounds. We had a buildings and ground meeting 2 weeks ago. There was we had a great discussion, actually. We're looking at filling some maintenance positions, a maintenance position, maintenance utility and custodian positions. They're vacant. They're not new positions. They're just empty positions that we're going to be trying to fill. That being said, that I will be calling a special meeting for next Friday at 12 o'clock to hire this maintenance utility or custodial utility for the stadium position that's vacant, and an English teacher. And the other item on the agenda will be Mr. Pichardo's contract. That's all I have this evening. General recommended action items, items 1 through 26. Do we have any questions on those?
Motion to approve.
Here. I have a motion by Mr. McGinley. May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. Damascus,
Yes.
Mr. Hardwick,
Yes.
Mr. Keating,
Yes.
Mr. McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Profetto,
Yes.
Mr. Kubuski,
Yes.
Mrs. Cassatt,
Yes.
Mr. Kamis.
Yes. Okay, moving on under staff recommended action items, items 1 through 17. Is there any questions on those?
I'll make the motion to approve staff recommended actions.
I have a motion by Mr. Keating. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Wilson, I think it was. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. Damascus,
Yes.
Mr. Hardwick,
Yes.
Mr. Keating,
Yes.
Mr. McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Profetto,
Yes.
Mr. Kubuski,
Yes.
Mrs. Cassatt,
Yes.
Mr. Kamis.
Yes. Item number 11, finance recommended action items. May I have a motion to accept the bills for payment in the finance manager's report and the treasurer's report?
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. Cassatt,
Second.
second by Mr. Perfetto. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. Damascus,
Yes.
Mr. Hardwick,
Yes.
Mr. Keating,
Yes.
Mr. McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Profetto,
Yes.
Mr. Kubuski,
Yes.
Mrs. Cassatt,
Yes.
Mr. Kamis.
Yes. I'd like to go around the table real quick. Mr. McGinley, do you have anything about this evening?
First of all, I just would like to congratulate the wrestling program. And I'm really looking forward to the addition of the girls wrestling. I think that'll be a nice addition. And certainly I believe the girls should have that opportunity. I also would like to congratulate the board, and particularly with Mr. Keating, et cetera, to look at the salary adjustments that were made with the Act 93. I think it's time to do that, and I really think it allows us now to be competitive in the local market so that we can maintain people we have in those positions. So I want to thank everybody for their work and for their approval so that we can continue to move in a forward direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McGinley. Mark, do you have anything to say?
Mr. McGinley said it very well. I would just like to congratulate the wrestling team. And of course, I'm thrilled to vote on the adjustment for the principals and vice principals.
Thank you, Mr. Kubuski. Mr. Perfetto.
I would also like to congratulate the wrestling team and the addition of the young ladies to that team. And also the adjustments that we're going to be making,
Excellent,
hopefully.
excellent. Thank you, Mr. Perfetto. Mr. Wilson.
Yes, Mr. Camus, I'd just like to say that last week I had the opportunity to attend the literacy night at State Street Elementary. It was a packed house. It was amazing to see how many families showed up and just participated, and the staff, everyone that's involved. There were so many, I can't really name individuals, but the entire staff at State Street did an amazing job. And I just want to say kudos to them. Thank you.
That's great to hear. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Mr. Hardwick, do you have anything?
Ryan, congrats. I would add too that he's reached out. And I want the board to keep in the back of their mind that he's reached out and asked us to give consideration in the future for a women's wrestling program. And I want to keep that on, I'm sure with Mr. Damascus, we'll keep that on the burner for future discussions. Other than that, that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Hardwick. Mr. Keating, would you like to add anything this evening?
No, other than, you look at our agendas and everything that's going on here. It's not any one committee in particular. It's this board as a whole that's really been working well and doing a lot of positive things for our school. And it's enlightening.
Thank you, Mr. Keating. Mrs. Cassatt, do you have anything?
Congratulations to the wrestling team, coach, and welcome, Rob.
Thank you.
And thanks to everyone for their great work.
Thank you, Mrs. Cassatt. Mr. Damascus.
I guess I'm gonna be blamed to be pro sport, but if anybody else has great things going on in the district, let us know. But I do have another one. Coach Eddie Zawadski has been named to the Luzerne County Hall of Fame recently. And as our student council or student representative said, how many medals, they're a direct result of his dedication. Ed, I think probably graduated actually with my son in 80 or 96. No, 2006. What am I thinking? And he's now a teacher with us and does an amazing job with that program. And he's rebuilding. He's building the program back up. And best of luck to Eddie is everything he does. But congratulations to Eddie.
Thank you, Mr. Vasquez. And to Mr. Vasquez, to your point, there's so much positive going on inside our district. It's not always about the sports, but if there's anything going on, please bring it forward so this board knows. I mean, there's so many moving parts here on a daily basis that we lose track of some of that. Be good to hear some more positives. Mr. Tosh, do you have anything to add?
No, just to add to what everybody else has said, I congratulate the girls. The Act 93 contract, can't thank the board enough. Long time coming. We have some really hardworking administrators, so it's nice to see that the board has recognized that. So compliments to the board. And what Mr. Wilson said, it was a great title literacy night over at State Street, and Chester Street will be having one coming up in April. So we'll get that information out too. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Petra, Rob, do you have anything?
I have nothing.
Thank you. So I'm just gonna be real quick. I do want to just talk to everybody about it, and I didn't have this before our committee meeting. So I was reached out by from Andrews Wally from SiteLog. There's a public schools facility improvement grant going on right now. It closes May 31st of 2024, and it's expected to be awarded by the end of 24. It's for $5 million. No less than 500,000, but up to 5 million. And includes roof, siding, windows, doors, thermal envelope of the building, any sort of safety issues that is inside. It does have a 25% match. Again, with SiteLog, they offered to reach out and actually write the grant and administer the grant for us at no charge. Is this something that this board may or may not want to entertain?
I think we should look into it.
I think we should also, and you have sufficient funds in your capital account for potential match.
Yeah, I think it's 25%. It's almost like, it's awesome. I mean, we could take care of the high school windows, doors, and be done with it. It's more to talk about. Does this board feel like they want to go forward, a little bit forward with it, have more discussion on it?
I think we go forward with it, in my opinion. Sounds like it's good.
I think we should look into it, go forward.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Excellent. So, Mr. Tosh, if you could make that happen, that would be greatly appreciated. Excellent. Our next scheduled meeting, well, we're gonna have a special meeting next Friday, but April 3rd and April 10th is our actual meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Meeting adjourned.